Welcome to NFL World, where the NFL starts and ends. I'm your host, Jacob. This video will actually count as a wordplay podcast video also, so it'll be in both playlists. So just so you all know, because I don't feel good, so we're going to just throw it all together as much as we can. But welcome to Super Wildcard Weekend. So we're going to have all the 5 games. We're going to talk about them. When we get to the Patriots game, we'll do our stars and everything like that, and what to watch out for. Let's first begin with the games on Saturday. Rams at Panthers. This is on Fox. Panthers getting plus 10.5. Sometimes the odds makers, when they make these odds, they don't look at what a team has previously done. The Panthers are this up and down team. They have one good week, and then the next week they're bad. Then they have another good week, and the next week they're bad. It's kind of what they do. They've been doing it all year long. And for the Rams, they haven't played well. They have not played well in the last few weeks. Actually, the last time these two teams met, the Rams played horribly. Too many turnovers. They had 2 interceptions. They had fumbles. They had bad plays over and over and over again. And this Panthers team gashed them. I could see a similar thing happening in this game. But I do think the Rams are a better team. I'm curious to see how the Panthers come out, because I did not like the way the Panthers played against Tampa Bay. It was raining, and they decided to run a flea flicker. At that point in the field, it made no sense. It was just a disaster class, in my opinion. It was just, you can't have worse coaching malpractice than that. And for the Rams, look, like, you haven't played great, but you're in. You're in. You're the 5th seed. Okay. Can you show something of a defense, please? Your defense has not played great. The offense has been all over the place. Show me something. Panthers, they haven't won their division in 10 years, so this is an accomplishment in and of itself. Do they have more to show? Potentially for a deep playoff run. Having said that, I don't think they do. I think this is just, they got to this point. They needed one more year. I think they're just down. Give me the win. But it's going to be an interesting game. Rams win 28-24. Moving to the Packers and Bears. Bears getting, if I can read my handwriting, I think that says -4.5. I can't even read my own handwriting. This one's on Prime Video. Packers supposedly healthy. Jordan Love was active for the previous game, but did not play. He did backup role for Clayton Tune. This Packers team hasn't looked the same in recent weeks. Injuries, bad play, the defense has been bad. Excuse me. Has been bad recently. I don't like their performance. I don't think they've been horrible, but you got beat by Chicago. You play this team again. You have yet to show consistency in offense. I want to see something from the Packers. Run the ball. Try and run the ball. Don't let the Bears, in the last 5 minutes of the game, just destroy you, as they have to many teams this year, and including to you this year. Happen. The Bears, very opportunistic on defense. They give away a lot of yards, though. And you saw that the Lions went down the field on them on repeat, something that they're not normal to doing. Like, the Bears don't usually allow, they get interceptions, and they were getting interceptions late in the game, but you cannot, if you're the Bears, there's a little bit of issue with saying we have to survive by the interception. We have to survive by the fumble recovery. because that means your defense isn't good enough. So there's the concern for the Bears. The Packers side is both sides. They're not great on offense, and they haven't been great on defense the last few weeks. So we'll see what happens in this game. This is NFC North football. I'm expecting it to go back and forth like the previous meeting, but give me the Bears to win. I just don't trust the Packers at this point. Yeah. I trust the Packers. So give me the Bears to win in a shootout, 31-28. Moving on to Sunday's games between the Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars +1. They're giving a little respect, loyalty to the Bills at this point. Jacksonville has yet to show, like, they've been good, but are we going to see Trevor Lawrence of this year where he's making great play after great play? Are we going to see Trevor Lawrence like in year up when he needs to? Like, that's something that has to be worked on. Let's see what happens here. This Bills defense has given up a lot of yards. This Jacksonville defense is very opportunistic. The Bills offense has fallen apart at times. I want to see what happens. I'm curious to see what happens. This is going to be a fun game. This game is on CBS. So this is going to be really fun. Give me the Bills to win in a very fun game, 24-21. Moving on to the 49ers at Eagles. Eagles 4.5-point favorites. This one is going to be very interesting because I think the 49ers will give the Eagles fits as a defense is concerned because I just don't trust this Eagles offense. Show me that you can be an offense for 4 quarters of a game. You haven't done it all year. Show me you can. I'm tired of, we have a good first half and our second half we completely fall apart. Or we have a good second half and our first half we were duds. San Francisco is going to destroy you if you do that. This is going to be a defensive battle. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Give me the 49ers to come out with the upset here. I just don't trust the Eagles. I don't see their offense as really a threat at this point. Give me the 49ers. I trust them more defensively than I trust the Eagles offensively. So give me the 49ers to win. And I think the 49ers offense will make it difficult on Vic Fangio's defense. So the score being 28-21. And on NBC, the Los Angeles Chargers head up to New England to face the New England Patriots. Patriots are 3.5-point favorites. 7th seed versus the 2 seed. This Chargers team's offensive line is going to dictate the game. If they get thrown into the dirt on repeat and just beaten down, the Patriots are going to steamroll. If they don't and give Justin Herbert some time, he'll make the throws that he needs to make. It's going to be a strange game in terms of points because it's just going to be. It's going to be cold. I wouldn't be surprised if it's windy. It's going to cause issues in the kicking game and the punting game, all that stuff. I think this is going to be run the ball, control the clock. Quarterback has to make a throw at a certain point of a game. And I trust the Patriots are going to do that more than the Chargers. Give me the Patriots to win. And again, look, their stars have to perform. The game they played against the Dolphins, their stars performed. Not like they did against the Jets, but they performed in a way that they needed to win the game. And they did it in this stadium, and they get to do it again. I see that the stars are going to show up. They're going to show out. Their defense has to be vaunted in this game. They just got to go attack Justin Herbert at every possible corner, at every possible turn. They got to find a way to get pressure on him. Don't let him run the football. If you're Justin Herbert, you got to look at, say, how do I defeat this defense? that has been good all year long and has gotten better in coverage as the season has gone along with younger players, different players with different levels of experience. I'm curious to see what they do. I think this at the end of the game, like I said, it's going to come down to one throw. Is that going to be Herbert who's making that throw? Is that going to be Drake May making that throw? To me, it's going to be Drake May. I think Drake May makes a big time throw late in the game. It seals the game. Score being 24-20 Patriots. Final game, Texans head into Pittsburgh against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rodgers made some old Green Bay magic in that final game of the season between the Steelers and Ravens. But the Texans have just destroyed worlds. Similar to what we said about the Bears, about how they gave up yards, the Texans gave up a lot of yards to the Colts. I don't know if that was because they were kind of half. They weren't completely there. They like, oh, we're going to win, no big deal. And then they got to the point of, oh, we gave up 30 points. So you can't afford that. But this team has been attacking them all year long, and I don't like the Steelers' offense. How many times when they got to that, they get a first and goal, 2 seconds left. I don't mind them going for it. I don't understand the play call. Why did you think where there's 2 defenders and there's one guy to block 2 defenders? Why did you think in any possible way mind going for it? Because of the pace of the game, I was like, okay, sure, go for it. Maybe you get a play. Maybe you get something good to happen. Who knows? Maybe you score a touchdown, the game goes 10-10 at halftime. You don't know. That play call made no sense to me. We're going to run the ball. We're actually going to flip the ball to the running back. Okay. But we're going to have him run to the side that there's only one guy blocking and there's 2 defenders. And it just didn't make sense to me. It was not a good play call. It didn't fit with what they were trying to do. And even Jason Garrett admitted that. He's like, I don't mind going for 2. I don't even mind the play call. I just don't understand why make that running back have to make that move that he's going to have to beat somebody to the corner or make a move on the defender. Why are you going to put him in that situation? I don't mind the play call if it was to the other side. Why did he run it to the left side thinking, okay, there's 2 defenders, he can make a move? It just was not smart enough. And that's why I think the Steelers have that weird offense of occasionally show sparks of goodness, I should say. And it's not great at all. It's okay, but sometimes it's shown even good. This Texans defense destroys worlds. I think that's what's going to be different. DK Metcalf comes back in this game, so we'll see how that changes the landscape. But give me the Texans, and they're going to steamroll them with the score 35 to, I'll say 35-17. I'll give the Steelers 17 on that. I know it says, +3, +4. That's not. It's just not. I don't know how you see that. To me, it's just going to be a blowout. The Texans are just going to steamroll. Moving on to the surprising news of the week, which was John Harbaugh getting fired. No one expected this. This happened on Tuesday. Harbaugh fired after 18 seasons. This comes back to he didn't want to get rid of Todd Monken. Oh no, I want Todd Monken. Well, and we said this. How many times this offense? It's a running offense. And it felt like it was a passing offense. They wouldn't get the ball to Derrick Henry in the fourth quarters. How does that happen? we can't blame every team for making bad coaching decisions and then leave the Ravens away from it. Like, that was a bad coaching decision. You have Derrick Henry, and you don't hand them the football. It didn't make sense. Did not make sense. You know Lamar is injured, so why are we asking Lamar to do more than we've ever asked him to do? It never made sense. And Zach Orr, I think, was also me if they were going to ask him about Zach Orr potentially firing him. Because to me, it felt like this. Remember last year where that Ravens defense was not very good, and at midway through the season they figured it out and they turned the corner? It happened the same thing this year. So I don't know if I'm completely lost my marbles in this one, but did they revert back to the defense they were running last year in the beginning and then flip it? Like it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They seem like they always fall in this trap of the defense turned the corner because of this. In that game against the Steelers, pretty much solidified it. Once Kyle Hamilton went out with that concussion, that was it. Like, that defense couldn't make a tackle. That defense couldn't stop a run. That defense couldn't defend in pass coverage situations. Couldn't cover at certain points. They were bad. They were very bad. And they made Aaron Rodgers look like he was back in Green Bay. Like, it was awful. At the end of the game, like, no one expected Harbaugh to get fired. Nobody. Like, I could see the coordinators, but I couldn't see Harbaugh. And when I know some Ravens fans were saying, "Oh yeah, he's gonna get fired." Yeah, we all say that when or 2 days ago or whatever, like fire this coach, fire that coach. We all say that. I mean, I've said that about Brad Eberflus, but she's gone. So it worked, but I didn't expect. You don't have that kind of winning record and winning percentage and then get fired like that. I just didn't see that happening. Now, I will say this, because this leads into our second fired, which was Mike McDaniel, who got fired this morning. We record this on Thursday. We're recording this on Thursday. He was fired this morning in kind of a shocking move. But they're looking for a general manager. And I think they wanted to hitch their wagon to both these two guys. And they want the general manager to be involved. They have said they're planning to hire a general manager in the next 2 days, in the next day or two. That's what they had described it as. I'm assuming they want their general manager involved in the head coaching search. That's why you do this. They don't want to have any ties to the players with the former regime still there. In the case McDaniel. This Dolphins team was very bad this year. It was not good. They're normally really good in September and awful in December. Well, they were just both awful in September, awful in December. To me, the December losses, that was enough to get you fired. But being this bad, not knowing situations, the game against Pittsburgh, they're down and they're huddling up when they're supposed to go fast. I didn't understand that. There was a lot of things I didn't get, and then you get destroyed by the Patriots. Like, that can't happen. And you can't play bad football like that. Even though you play Quinn Ewers. You play Quinn Ewers, you're expecting to be better than that. Too many mistakes on offense, too many mistakes on defense. And that led to the dismissal, I think, anyway. Kind of surprised, though, it took till Thursday to make that decision, though. Because normally you don't wait that long. But I was surprised. The reason I said this leads into it is after Harbaugh was fired, apparently 7 teams called him and asked if they could interview him. There was 7 head coaching openings at the time, including the one to the Ravens. We know the Ravens didn't call him. So we are assuming that a team that hadn't fired their head coach had called him. We thought that could have been the Dolphins or the Buccaneers. This morning it was figured out and reported that the Dolphins did not talk to him. So there's still another team that might be saying, if we choose to fire him, this coach, maybe we can go get Joe. We can go get John Harbaugh. It's just something, it's food for thought. But now there's 8 head coaching vacancies. Where does McDaniel go? Where does Harbaugh go? That's the question in and of itself. Atlanta could be the spot for both these guys. That would be my favorite for these two guys, for these 2 head coaches. But let me know in the comments who you have winning this week on Super Wildcard Weekend. And are you surprised that both John Harbaugh and Mike McDaniel were fired? For NFL World and the One Play Podcast, I'm Jacob Huber. Out.